You felt it, that restless ache in your chest when the night is too quiet and the world feels too heavy. The way your mind races through every what if and if only about her, as if solving this cosmic riddle is just a matter of thinking harder, trying more, pushing further. But here's the secret the mystics won't tell you straight out. You're not being prepared for her. You're being prepared through her. And the divine masculine's most sacred work doesn't begin at union. It begins in the raw, unglamorous trenches of becoming the man who can sustain it. Let's cut through the spiritual bypassing for a second. You've done the shadow work, or so you tell yourself. You've read the books, recited the affirmations, maybe even healed a childhood wound or two. But then, why does her silence still send you into a tailspin? Why does the thought of her moving on without you make your hands shake? Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Real readiness isn't measured by how much you've healed, but by how little you're shaken by what remains. And if you're honest, you're not there yet. But that's not a failure. It's an invitation. Think of her like the world's most relentless personal trainer. She doesn't care how many reps you think you can do. She's here to show you where you're actually weak. Maybe it's your need for control masquerading as protection. Maybe it's your fear of abandonment dressed up as independence. Whatever it is, she'll reflect it back to you with brutal, beautiful precision. And the sooner you stop resenting her for it, the sooner you'll realize this isn't punishment, it's grace. Right now, in this excruciating limbo between separation and union, you're being tempered like steel in fire. Every sleepless night, every unanswered text, every moment you're forced to sit with the unbearable truth that you can't make this happen. It's all part of the recipe. Because the divine masculine isn't born in victory laps. He's forged in the moments when you choose integrity over impulse. You respond to silence with stillness instead of panic. You hold space for her journey instead of demanding she soothe yours. And here's the twist that'll make your ego squirm. The day you stop needing union to feel complete is the day it becomes possible. Not because you've given up, but because you finally understood. This was never about getting somewhere. It was about becoming someone. Someone who doesn't just crave the light, but can hold it without burning up or blowing out. So tell me, are you willing to stop chasing the destination and start embracing the transformation? Or will you keep pretending you're already there? Let's talk about the divine masculine's greatest illusion. The idea that strength means never cracking, never bending, never admitting that sometimes, yes, you're terrified. You've been taught that emotions are messy, inconvenient, even dangerous. So you've built walls, not just around your heart, but around the very idea of feeling anything too deeply. And now, here's the cosmic joke. Your twin flame union depends on you tearing them down. Society told you that a real man doesn't cry, doesn't waver, doesn't need. You learned to armor yourself in logic, in action, in doing rather than being. But here's the truth they never told you. Suppression isn't strength, it's just delayed destruction. Imagine holding a beach ball underwater your whole life. How long before your arms give out? How long before it all comes exploding to the surface in a messy, uncontrollable burst? That's what happens when the divine masculine refuses to feel. And guess what? Your twin flame? She feels everything. She's not afraid of the depths. She's afraid you'll drown her in your refusal to swim. You think vulnerability is weakness? Try this. Stand in front of the woman who mirrors your soul and tell her, "I don't know how to do this. I'm scared. I need you." That takes more courage than any silent stoicism ever could. The divine feminine doesn't want a statue. She wants a man who can tremble and still stand, who can say, "This hurts," without collapsing into shame, who can hold her tears without trying to fix them because he's learned that some things aren't meant to be solved, just witnessed. The classic divine masculine trap. If I just do enough, provide enough, protect enough, she'll never have to feel pain. Noble? Maybe, but also deeply arrogant. You're not her savior, you're her partner. And love isn't about preventing storms, it's about learning to dance in the rain together. The moment you try to manage her emotions, or worse, your own, you've stepped out of union and into control. And control is just fear wearing a suit of armor. So how do you break the cycle? Start small. Get comfortable with discomfort. Next time anger rises, don't shove it down. Ask it, "What are you trying to protect me from?" Next time fear grips you, don't numb it. Sit with it like an old friend who overstays their welcome but still has something to say. And when love terrifies you, because it will, don't run. Breathe. Let it unravel you. This isn't about becoming someone else. It's about remembering who you were before the world told you to hide. Your twin flame isn't asking you to be perfect. She's asking you to be real. And real men? They feel messily, beautifully. So tell me, when was the last time you let yourself really cry? Or are you still pretending you don't need to? You like control? Of course you do. You're the divine masculine. Plans, strategies, 5-year visions, backup plans for your backup plans. You've built entire empires in your mind before breakfast. But here's the cosmic punchline. Your twin flame journey isn't a business plan. It's a surrender, a trust, fall into the arms of the universe. And right now, you're white-knuckling the steering wheel like it's a life or death race, when in reality, you're just blocking the flow of miracles trying to reach you. Let's be honest, you think if you just figure it all out, if you just do the right things, union will happen on your terms. But the universe doesn't operate on spreadsheets. It operates on synchronicity, on divine timing, on those inexplicable moments when the right song plays at the right time, or her name pops up on your phone just as you were thinking of her. That's not coincidence. That's the universe whispering, "Relax, I've got this." But you're still over here drafting manifestos on how it should go. Oh, you've read the books. You know about visualization, affirmations, scripting your perfect reunion. But here's the catch. If you're doing it from a place of lack, from a place of, "If I don't make this happen, I'll lose her forever," then you're not manifesting. You're manipulating. True spiritual alignment isn't about forcing the universe's hand. It's about aligning your energy so completely that the universe has no choice but to deliver what's already yours. Ever notice How the more you chase, the further she seems. How the harder you try to fix the separation, the more life throws obstacles in your path. That's not punishment. That's divine intervention. The universe isn't cruel. It's just removing every false foundation you've been leaning on, so you finally learn to stand in faith. Maybe your career stalls. Maybe old friends drift away. Maybe you're left sitting alone in your apartment, staring at the ceiling, thinking, what the hell am I even doing? Good. That's exactly where you need to be, because only when all your plans fail do you finally look up and say, fine. You take it from here. Surrender isn't passive. It's not giving up. It's giving over. It's the moment the warrior lays down his sword because he finally realizes the battle was never his to fight. It's the exhale after a lifetime of holding your breath. And here's the wild part. The moment you stop pushing, the moment you release the how and the when, that's when the magic rushes in. Doors open, blockages dissolve. And suddenly, without effort, she's there. Not because you made it happen, but because you allowed it. The divine masculine's ultimate test isn't about proving his worth. It's about trusting it. You don't have to orchestrate reunion like some cosmic event planner. You just have to show up, fully, authentically, spiritually aligned, and let the universe handle the rest. So tell me, are you ready to stop playing God? Or are you still clinging to the illusion that you ever had control in the first place? Let's talk about the great illusion you've been carrying, the belief that your worth is something to be proven, like some never-ending job interview where love is the position you're desperate to land. You've built resumes of success, stacked accomplishments like trophies on a shelf, thinking, if I can just be enough, rich enough, strong enough, impressive enough, then I'll finally be worthy of her. But here's the truth that's going to sting before it sets you free. No amount of external validation will ever fill the hole where your self-worth should be. And until you realize that, you'll keep showing up to your twin flame union like a beggar at a banquet, unaware the feast was always meant for you. You've been conditioned to believe that love is transactional, that you must bring something to the table to be deserving of it. So you hustle, you grind, you become the provider, the protector, the rock, not because it's your natural expression, but because deep down you're terrified that without these things you'll be, what? Unlovable, ordinary, forgotten. But here's the cosmic joke. Your twin flame doesn't love you for what you do. She loves you for who you are. And the more you tie your identity to your achievements, the more you push her away. Not because she's rejecting you, but because she can't reach you beneath all that armor. Ever notice how her presence, her sheer, unshakable light, sometimes makes you feel exposed? Like no matter how much you've accomplished, there's this quiet voice whispering, she sees through it all. That's not her judging you. That's your own soul forcing you to confront the lie you've been living, that you are what you achieve. And the beautiful, terrifying truth is that your twin flame will never let you hide behind titles or trophies. She'll reflect back to you the very thing you've been running from, the raw, unpolished, enough as you are truth of you. Oh, you've read the books. You know how to be the prize. You've mastered the art of appearing confident, successful, unfazed. But here's the question no one's asking. Who are you when no one's applauding? When the money's gone, when the accolades fade, when it's just you in the quiet, do you still like yourself? Or does the emptiness creep in, that gnawing fear that without the external validation, you're nothing? The divine masculine's real work isn't about becoming more. It's about realizing you were never lacking in the first place. Maybe it's a job loss, a financial crash, a humbling failure that cracks the facade you've been clinging to. The universe has a funny way of stripping away the very things we use to define ourselves, not to punish us, but to free us. Because only when the ego's crutches are gone do we finally meet the unshakable truth beneath. You are not your successes. You are not your failures. You are the awareness that watches both come and go. And that's what your twin flame has been waiting for you to remember. When you stop trying to earn love, you become magnetic to it. When you stop performing worthiness, you embody it, and suddenly the dynamic shifts. You're no longer the hungry ghost chasing validation. You're the king who knows his own value. And that's when she'll look at you, not with admiration for what you've done, but with reverence for who you've become. So tell me, are you ready to stop auditioning for love? Or are you still waiting for someone to hand you the trophy of enough? You think you know yourself? Think again. There's a version of you that lives in the basement of your psyche, the one you've been avoiding, the one that whispers doubts in the dead of night, the one that flinches when love gets too close. That's your shadow. And guess what? Your twin flame didn't come to admire the polished statue you've spent years sculpting. She came to meet all of you, the light, the dark, the messy, unedited truth you've been too afraid to face. You've mastered the art of appearing strong, unshakable, but behind that carefully constructed persona, there's a boy who still wonders if he's enough, a man who's terrified of being truly seen. Because what if she looks into your eyes and finds ordinary? What if she sees the parts of you that don't fit the divine masculine archetype? The insecurity, the neediness, the raw, unfiltered humanity. Here's the truth. Your shadow isn't your enemy. It's the key to your wholeness. And until you stop running from it, you'll keep running from her too. Ever notice how the things that irritate you most about her are often the very things you deny in yourself? Her emotional outbursts trigger you because you've spent a lifetime suppressing your own. Her neediness makes you recoil because you're terrified of admitting how much you crave connection too. That's not coincidence. That's the universe holding up a mirror. And the sooner you stop pointing fingers and start owning your reflections, the sooner the dance of push-pull ends. Shadow work isn't about fixing yourself. It's about meeting yourself fully without judgment. It's about letting that wounded inner boy speak, letting the rage, the shame, the fear rise up, not to control it, but to witness it. To say, oh, so this is where I've been hiding. Because here's the alchemy. When you stop resisting your darkness, it stops resisting your light. And suddenly, the very parts of you that you thought would push her away become the bridges that draw her closer. That sensitivity you've been masking as stoicism, it's your capacity for deep empathy. That that fear of abandonment you've buried under independence. It's your reminder to cherish connection. Your twin flame didn't come for a perfect man, she came for a real one. And real men don't hide from their shadows, they integrate them. They say, yes, I'm afraid. Yes, I'm messy, and I'm still worthy of love. The day you stop apologizing for your depth, for your shadows, your complexities, your contradictions, is the day you step into true masculine power. Not the kind that dominates, but the kind that holds. The kind that says, I see all of you because I've dared to see all of me. And that's the love your twin flame has been waiting for. So tell me, are you ready to turn on the light in that basement? Or will you keep pretending the door doesn't exist? You've been looking at this all wrong. This isn't just about finding her. It's about what happens when you do. Twin flame union isn't some romantic finish line where you get to collapse into each other's arms and call it a day. No, this is where the real work begins. Because the divine masculine's ultimate test isn't just about loving her. It's about becoming the kind of man who can hold the weight of that love without buckling under its power. Most men spend their lives chasing love like it's a prize to be won, a treasure to hoard. But the divine masculine, he's called to something deeper. This isn't about claiming her as yours. It's about recognizing that you are both the universe's. Your connection isn't a personal fantasy, it's a sacred assignment. And until you shift from, I need her to complete me, to, we are here to complete something greater than ourselves, you'll keep circling the same old karmic loops. You think leadership means control? Think again. The highest expression of the divine masculine isn't about ruling over his twin flame. It's about standing firm so she can rise. It's about creating a space where her light isn't just safe, but magnified, where her voice isn't just heard, but amplified. This isn't about dominance. It's about stewardship. And if you're still stuck in the ego's idea of leading, you're missing the point entirely. This is where most men falter. They spend so much energy getting to union that they forget to ask, what now? Twin flames aren't just meant to adore each other. They're meant to create together, to channel that love into something that ripples beyond themselves. Maybe it's art, maybe it's healing, maybe it's raising a new kind of consciousness in the world. But if you think this journey ends with the two of you riding off into the sunset, you've misunderstood the assignment. Here's the beautiful, terrifying truth. The moment you stop asking what your twin flame can do for you and start asking what you can do for the love itself, everything shifts. The petty power struggles dissolve. The fears of unworthiness fade. Because now it's not about you anymore. It's about the love you're both here to embody. And that's when the magic happens. You've been so focused on getting to her that you haven't yet realized she was never the destination. She's the mirror, the catalyst, the living reminder of why you're here. And when you finally see that, when you stop clinging to union as an endgame and start embracing it as a beginning, that's when you step into your true power. Not as a man who found his twin flame, but as a man who fulfills his purpose through her. So tell me, are you ready to stop chasing love and start serving it? Or are you still stuck in the fantasy that this was ever just about you? You stand now at the precipice of your own becoming, where every tear shed in solitude and every silent prayer whispered into the void has been quietly sculpting you into something far greater than you imagined. This was never just about finding her. It was about remembering yourself. And in that remembering, you've uncovered a truth so potent, it rewrites destiny. Union doesn't happen when you finally reach her. It happens when you finally meet the man who's ready to hold her. All this time, you've been measuring readiness by the calendar, counting days of no contact, analyzing synchronicities like celestial breadcrumbs. But the universe measures differently. It watches how you handle the quiet nights when doubt creeps in. It notes the way you speak of her in her absence, with reverence, not resentment. It tests whether your healing is performative or forged in the fires of authentic surrender. And when the scales tip, when your inner alignment outweighs your hunger for the outcome, that's when the gates swing open, not because you've earned it, but because you've become it. Imagine for a moment that every separation was never punishment, but preparation. That every moment you spent unraveling was actually the universe teaching your hands how to weave. Now, as you stand on the threshold, you finally understand. Her absence wasn't the obstacle, it was the loom. And what's being woven isn't just a love story, but a testament to what happens when a man stops chasing and starts embodying. When he trades the armor of achievement for the vulnerability of true presence. When he realizes that the most powerful thing he can offer isn't his strength, but his willingness to be seen, fully, fiercely, flaws and all. This is where the real magic begins, not in some cinematic reunion where the music swells and the credits roll, but in the quiet, ordinary moments where love proves its mettle. When you choose patience over frustration, understanding over ego, commitment over convenience. When you look at her not as a prize you've won, but as a sacred trust you've been given. Because the divine masculine's ultimate role isn't to possess, it's to protect. Not her light, but the space for it to shine. And here's the secret that changes everything. She was never the missing piece. She was the mirror showing you where the pieces had been all along. In the way her love exposed your shadows, in how her presence revealed your depth, in the truth that your most profound transformations came not in her arms, but in the alchemical solitude between then and now. So when you finally step into union, it won't feel like an ending. It will feel like a homecoming. Not to her, but to the self you rediscovered along the way. So breathe deep, warrior of the heart. This isn't the finish line. It's the launching pad. The love you've been preparing for is no delicate thing. It's a living, breathing force that will demand your courage, your humility, your unwavering presence. But here's the best part. You're already everything she needs. Not because you're perfect, but because you've learned to love the cracks where the light gets in. Now, will you stand tall in that truth? Or will you keep glancing backward, wondering if you should have packed more for a journey that was never about what you carried, but who you became? The choice, as always, is yours. But the man who walks through that door, he's already decided.